I guess what happens when I think I made a mistake the day before, I wake up and like within 5 seconds, this like depression, self-doubt, shame reel starts playing. I also feel like my brain is kind of coming back online, but then sometimes what happens is like my like autopilot starts like trying to do too many things at once again, and like trying to fix too many things at once and think about too many things at once, like because I feel like I feel smarter today is how I feel. Whereas most of my energy, I think, is often like taken up by like sadness and like dealing with being sick. I also have like a ton of hope. I always have. It's just something that's never gone away in my life, but never is probably a strong word, but it's something I can always come back to. But so this like self-doubt reel started playing. And speaking about it, hoping that it will go away. Where I think I ate too much yesterday. And I'm looking back at like 2 moments where I could have stopped eating and I didn't. But I was still really hungry, which I have been most of the time, and not been able to eat very much since this flare started. But I guess part of my theory, well, I mean, I ate like a plate of rice and like cream of chicken soup over it with a little bit of canned chicken, what I could stomach, because I think protein makes me like feel better. Um, and that was one of the foods I didn't have to pay for that showed up at my door. So, like, what I think is that God gave me all the food I needed. So, I think I should try to eat what showed up, which is basically pretty like bland food, which is like really good for me, like in this sort of place uh, with being unwell. Generally speaking, I feel much better with ulcerative colitis if I eat pretty bland food. Really salty food is good because I think my body may be low on salt, generally speaking. Um, I don't know, because there's other things with my body that go on besides ulcerative colitis. The doctor in Montana thought I might have POTS because I told her I think I have POTS. It's postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. I took the video off because I was like embarrassed 3 months ago for explaining it when I didn't know for sure I had it, but a lot of the symptoms line up. Dizziness on standing, not being able to stand without feeling like falling over, things like that. They tried to give me, I think it's propranolol for that. And that immediately made me feel sick, so I stopped taking it immediately. I took like one dose and I was like, because my body's like very sensitive, and even like when I've tried like depression meds in the past, it's like I know how they're interacting with my body right away. Sometimes I kept taking them for a week, seeing if like the symptoms would change. But like those SSRIs made me just way more depressed and like unable to function very well. Yeah. Oh god. That could be a hunger pain. I'm starting to like understand some of the signals my body's sending me in my stomach and the pain is like hunger and not like whatever else is going on. Which I assume is some sort of bloody shitty mess in my stomach. Anyway, what was I trying to say? Okay, so like self-deprecating thoughts about maybe I ate too much yesterday. I don't really think so, because like the first time I had ulcerative colitis, the way I brought it back to normal and I didn't go see the doctor that year was force myself to eat. At that point, I wasn't really specific about it. I just kind of told my stomach to stop whining, and I ate like I normally would eat. Maybe not as much as I normally would eat, because at that point I was overeating. But I forced myself to like eat fairly normally. At that point, I was eating pasta and red sauce and things that, well, I could probably stand that sort of stuff in my 20s. I was 22 the first time I had a flare up. Anyways, I made it go away. The next year, I was like, I'm not even going to try this because I felt so depleted. I just didn't have the energy to try and make it go away myself. Yeah, okay. It's one of those things like, or did I? You know, another like self-deprecating thing. Like, who cares? I didn't do it at that point. Okay. So like, I'm like, I think the way to cure this is to, because I think there was like a fasting period that my body needed. Okay. I'm just thinking it's probably over. So mostly not eating anything. I don't think that's what my body wants anymore. Like I said, the steroid wasn't helping my body come back online. I started taking a little bit of the mesalamine because I have some from my doctor in Montana, and the doctor here prescribed me some, but it's not accepted by my insurance for some reason. Right. I still need to apply for Medicaid. That might cover it because I'm gonna need more. But yeah. So yeah, I took like a half dose of mesalamine because I don't want to take it on an empty stomach, and I was eating approximately a little bit once a day the past 3 days, except for yesterday. I ate like 2, I would say decent sized meals. They seem decent, but they're probably small compared to, well, what I ate for dinner was normal, but the earlier meal was smaller. And I ate the larger one over a period of 2 hours and reheated it and stuff, and kind of ate like as my body was like telling me to. Like I've been like communicating with my stomach, like asking it what it would like at a certain moment or period of time, and doing my best to listen. And now it's like sometimes I don't have to ask, and I just know. See, like what I do is I like would like put my hand on my stomach and like be like, what do you want right now? I don't know. It's hard to tell right now because it feels like it wants to rest, and then part of it feels very hungry. There's like 2 messages going on. Oh, I could probably eat something slowly. That might be the method here. But yeah, those are my theories. I ordered this stuff called fulvic acid, FULVIC, because I saw a TikTok where the woman's child was having a lot of autoimmune issues, and she gave her this and bentonite clay, which I don't know what you'd use bentonite clay for, so I didn't get that, but I got fulvic acid. It hasn't shown up yet, but it was like $20 on Amazon. So it's supposed to help with like autoimmune issues. So basically what I think is if like things stick out to me, like that might help, then it probably will. Like that's what happened for like a couple years. I didn't try like CBD oil, even though I saw some stuff in the news. Well, at that point, there was a woman like getting in trouble because she had given her child with seizures CBD oil, and it stopped the seizures. So I was like, oh, that's amazing. But then she was in trouble with like the authorities. If it's helping your kid, why do you even fucking care what it is? You know, to some extent. anyway, so that made me think about CBD oil for some of the stuff I'm going through. It's just like now I don't know if it's at a point where it helps, and I haven't been taking it because I don't want to wake up depressed, and that's what it's been doing. But when I first took it, when I was having so much back pain, like that, I was literally just like walking around my apartment at this point, and back when I had an apartment, and I really couldn't function. I would just like walk back and forth, like being like such tremendous back pain that I really couldn't even like localize like where the pain was, because I was also like in mental pain, like having PTSD symptoms, and like I mean, I realized like my body hurt, but I'm like, I don't know what to do about this, and I kept like going to the doctor. They gave me a bunch of mental health medications, which I also took for about a year, which I don't know if they did anything. I think it was like mostly the CBD oil that did something. Lithium may be helpful to me because I still have some lithium that I brought with me, and I kind of had a feeling I should take it the other day. I don't know what it does. I just know I have like a really sensitive like psyche because I grew up with a mother with schizophrenia and a dad who had his own mental health issues that weren't diagnosed. But at least that was what I thought and still do. I just was never really able to pin down what was up with him. But that was who I grew up with. So, for instance, I was like trying to look up like the stuff I was diagnosed with the other day, and some girl uploaded a video of her having a manic episode, and I'm like, yeah, I've been there. Most recently, what doctors have said about me is that I have bipolar. Before, it was symptoms of schizotypal, major depressive disorder, and generalized anxiety disorder. I took like a pretty major series of tests for the first 3